going on, guys? XSR Detroit here with another motovlog for you. Today I'm going to be taking my first sort of moto camping trip with the XSR. Basically, we're heading out to Irish Hills. It's me and my girlfriend. She's taking her car, I'm taking the bike. So it's not quite 100% moto camping, but I did load up all of my gear that I would typically bring for a moto camping trip so I could test everything out. Originally I was planning on heading to Zanesville to check out the Triple Nickel, but the weather wasn't looking too good, so I figured better to keep it local, you know, get some R&R time with the girlfriend, and I still get to test out my moto camping kit, so I'm really excited to see how everything works out. To give you sort of a brief overview of what I use for moto camping and just touring in general with my XSR, I have the Saddlemen 3200S bag that carries most of my stuff. This is all, you know, this is my tent, you know, my sleeping pad, my cooking equipment, but I also have a backpack here packed with like some of my light electronics and cables. But that's it. Otherwise, it's just nice to have a backpack just in case I want to go somewhere. I also have some more storage with this, so I don't have to lug around this bag all the time. Up top, we have my sleeping bag that is scrunched down very nicely. On the back, I have a reserve fuel bottle just in case. I don't think that's going to be a problem for this trip, but I'm sure it'd be nice to have if it comes down to it. I also have the backrest installed on my Corbin Gunfighter and Lady seat, not just because you know, my girlfriend and I will be riding around Irish Hills, but to have something to strap the bag to. Everything feels very secure. I took it for a test drive, and everything feels nice. Everything feels like it's not going anywhere. The only thing that's missing is my tank bag, which is in the house right now. I'm still packing up some small items that I intend on bringing, so all said and done, this is the setup as far as the luggage goes. And that's all my clothes too in that luggage bag. A buddy of mine gave me this GoPro Hero, I believe it's a 3 black, I'm not sure, but he didn't have any use for it, and he asked me if I would put it to work, and the answer is absolutely. So now I have a front-facing cam for the moto vlogging, which I'm really excited. I was gonna buy another GoPro anyway to do this, but just, you know, it was cool. You know, shout out to my buddy Justin if you're watching this. Thanks for the GoPro, man. I will definitely be putting it to use. Also off the side here, I got a mini USB to USB-C, so my USB-C cable that I use for my phone just plugs into there, and I can charge it, which it looks like it's dead, so I should probably go put a fresh battery in there. But yep, got the quad lock on. Sorry that the review for that is taking forever to come out. I've been completely swamped. My basement flooded again. It's just been, this week has been kind of a clusterfuck. So the quad lock review is definitely coming. So far, I'm really digging it, but we'll get into the detail when the review comes out. But of course, I've got that set up, my cable, good to go. Yesterday, I did all my chain maintenance. I adjusted my rear suspension and kind of just gave the bike the once-over. A couple days ago, actually, I had a running issue. I went to a gas station, I filled my tank up with gas, and as I was riding back home, the bike sputtered out and just straight up died, and it would not turn over. So I ended up pushing my bike home 6 blocks, and when I got home, I was thinking, well, maybe it's battery. The battery in the bike at the time was the stock battery, so it's like it's probably shit at this point. So I replaced the battery and was still having running issues. It wouldn't turn over. So then I took the tank, the airbox off. I was looking at the throttle bodies. I was checking spark plugs, just kind of going down the list. And eventually what I was able to determine was, you know, this issue happened right after I fueled up, so it could be bad gas. So I emptied the tank, and then I filled it halfway with gas from a different place. And I use premium always in this bike, so 91 octane minimum, 93 is what I usually run. So I went to a different gas station, filled the tank up halfway, got home, hooked everything up, and the bike ran like shit, but it did turn over. So I took it for a ride and just to work that shitty gas out of the system. And after that, after a lot of backfiring and rough riding, the bike is 100% again. It's running like a top. Just took it for a ride, and it is definitely ready to roll. So nice little bit of bike problems right before the trip. That's always fun. But the bike it's ready. After a half hour or so on the highway, I got off at US 12. US 12 ties Irish Hills together with beautiful scenery and perfect pavement. I've been riding here for years, and every time I come out here, I find something new. Eventually, I arrived at Hayes State Park, my camping spot for this trip. I had never been here before, but it's a nice campground. Nice lake for kayaking, and they have some trails you can explore. But I wasn't here for any of that. This trip was all about testing gear, relaxing, and getting some much-needed bike time. Once my girlfriend got to the site, we started making camp. We brought our usual camping gear along with my motocamping setup. The rest of the day was spent kicked back, enjoying the site, and struggling to get a fire going. The next morning, we got some bacon to fuel us for a day of directionless riding. I wanted to give you guys a look at the tent that I'm using and some other backpacking accessories that are small enough to pack into my motorcycle luggage. Real quick, I want to show you this chair. It's pretty cool. It breaks down into this small bag you can see on the back here. So it's nice to have a seat and it doesn't take up a ton of space. It's pretty comfortable, and it's got some pockets on both sides so you can, put a drink or your phone or whatever you want to do with it. As far as the tent, it's an REI Passage 1 backpacking tent. The thing I like about this tent is it does come with a footprint, so you don't have to spend extra on that to waterproof the bottom. The entire top portion of the tent is mesh, so it breathes really nicely. For a one-person tent, it's actually not that bad. I'm around 5'8", and I fit in this pretty comfortably with all of my gear. I got this inflatable pillow, which breaks down really nicely. Very easy to pack. See, I got my tank bag in the corner there, my helmet, my boots. Everything packs really nicely. Toiletry bag, my backpack. So this is enough space for me and pretty much all of my gear. This is what the tent looks like with the rainfly completely zipped up. You do have a bit more of storage space there if you had like a waterproof bag or something you wouldn't worry about getting wet from like dew or rain. So it's nice to have that additional storage. Let's just open this up real quick for you. So the plan tonight is I'm going to sleep in this tent. Yesterday I slept in my big tent with the comfortable foam sleeping pad, but tonight I'm going to test out the tent, sleep in it. I have this inflatable sleeping pad, which I'm curious to see how this turns out. Got pretty solid reviews, so it should be pretty comfortable. But I'm going to sleep with the rainfly off so I can sleep under the stars. It's only going to be like 50 degrees tonight, so not too cold. And I just want to test the breathability of the tent. I'm sure it's going to do just fine. Hopping back on US 12, we made our way through the hills. It was a perfect day for it, not a ton of traffic, wide open road. We ended up stopping at Jerome's Country Market. They had tons of dope shit like handmade salsa and flavorful beef jerky. We didn't have anywhere to store anything, so we had agreed to come back tomorrow. We got back on the road and made our way to Stagecoach Shop, which was closed but looked pretty cool. After that, we headed back to camp to grab the car so we could go hit some breweries and grab dinner. Last night I stayed in the backpacking tent. It was very comfortable. I was actually really impressed with the sleeping pad. For being a small collapsible pad, it was actually very comfortable. The only issue I ran into was my inflatable pillow was kind of sliding around a little bit, so I put a blanket underneath it to kind of keep it stationary, and after that everything was fine. Slept great. Slept without the rain fly on. There was some dew in the morning, but the footprint prevented any moisture from coming through the tent, so I was dry, comfortable. So overall, I'm really happy with how the gear turned out. Our short trip was coming to an end, so we started packing our gear. Real quick, I wanted to show you my Saddlemen 3200S, tent, sleeping pad, pillow, and sleeping bag. All of my gear is backpacking equipment. It's a solid size bag, but if you own an XSR or MT, you know the struggle of adding storage. This is some of my cooking equipment. All of this packs down really nice. MSR camping stove, and a backpacking cooking kit. Perfect for coffee, soups, and in our case, dehydrated meals. My cooking isn't the best, but it's getting better. The dehydrated chili mac wasn't half bad. Hell, these things don't even expire until 2050. I might need to grab a few of these for the impending apocalypse. We made our way back to Jerome's to pick up some snacks. I was riding solo, so I got to cut up for a little bit. The Metro Detroit area is flat, straight, and punctuated by crater-sized potholes, so the beautiful curves of Irish hills were a welcome change of pace. After Jerome's, we came back down US 12. Before we went home, there was one place left to check out. I've ridden past Randy's barbecue countless times, but today we were making sure we stopped. Dude, if you live out here, just go. The barbecue will take you straight to Flavortown. It was the perfect way to wrap up the trip. So what did I learn? There's definitely some gear I need to add to my loadout, but for the most part, I'm ready to hit the road. I probably won't make another trip out this year, but I have big plans for next season. Traveling on my motorcycle is one of my favorite things in life. Who knows where I'll go, the places I'll see, and the people I'll meet. Just another adventure, more memories to make, all while on two wheels.